This is my view across the street. This is my rooftop, and this is my $500 a month studio in Brazil. Yes, $500, not just for the room. For a lifestyle I couldn't afford back in the US. Now let's look inside. If you just got here, I travel around the world and I show you exactly what your money gets you in different cities. No filters, no sponsoring content, just the real numbers. I did this in Buenos Aires, $1,000 a month. You can click here for the video. Great apartment, great city, but Brazil is a completely different game. Today, I'm giving you a full, no BS tour of how I live comfortably for half that price, $500. Let that sit. We're in João Pessoa, one of the nicest capitals in Brazil, right on the Atlantic coast. It's May, the rainy season just kicking in, so it's not peak summer anymore, but trust me, the vibe is still very much there. I'm going to show you everything. The kitchen, my remote work setup, and the building parts that honestly makes this $500 feels like way more. Let's start from the beginning. So first thing first, the building itself, because the studio is just not the unit. The building matters, right? Where you are matters. This is a modern building, clean, well kept, has 24/7 security, has 2 elevators, and the amenities here are generally good. They have a co-working station inside the building, so if you ever want to get out of the unit but not go to a cafe, I come down here. Change of scenery, different energy, still focused. For anyone working remotely, this is actually huge because sometimes your own 4 walls just start closing in on you and you need to move. Having this option literally downstairs is something a lot of people pay extra for at a co-working space in the city. It's just included here. There's also a laundromat in the building, which sounds like a small thing, but it's not a small thing. You don't need to figure it out where the nearest laundromat is. You don't need to drag a bag through the street. It's right here. Again, just included. There's also a cafe that you could also have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there's this, the rooftop pool. I mean, come on. You've got a pool on the rooftop of a building that's across the street from the beach. It sounds excessive, but it actually makes total sense because sometimes you just want to swim without walking down to the sand. Early morning dip, evening wind down, this spot get used a lot. So between the co-working station, the laundromat, the cafe, and the rooftop pool, you're just not paying for 4 walls and a bathroom. You're paying for an entire setup. And it's still $500 a month. The neighborhood, Jardim Oceania, is genuinely one of the nicest parts of João Pessoa. It's calm, it's residential, you've got restaurants nearby, supermarkets, all of that. But the vibe is quiet. It doesn't feel chaotic. It feels like a place people actually chose to live, not just end up in. Which is kind of exactly what I did. I chose this. And every month I pay the rent, I'm like, yeah, good call. Okay, here we go. This is it. This is the studio. So, first reaction. What do you see? Because when I first walked in here, I had a very specific reaction, and I want to know if you're having the same one watching this. It's bigger than you would expect. That's the thing. When people hear studio, they picture something cramped, like a dorm situation. And this is not that. The layout is smart. You've got your own living area, your workspace, the kitchen is right there, the bathroom's over there, and everything just flows. It doesn't feel cut up. The ceilings are good height, the floors are tile, which is honestly ideal for the climate here. João Pessoa is warm basically year round. We're in May right now and the rainy season is just getting started. So it's not that big summer heat anymore, but it's still, you're not putting rugs everywhere. Tile keep it cool. Natural lights, look at this, the windows face in a direction that gives you good light during the day without cooking you alive. That was actually one of my non-negotiables when I was looking at places. I need natural lights. I work from here, so I spend a lot of time here and it can be in a cave. Let's talk kitchen, because this is one of those things people underestimate when they're thinking about studio living. The kitchen situation really determines your quality of life. So here's what we got. It's compact but functional. You've got counter space to actually cook, not just like a tiny ledge where you balance a cutting board. There's storage. The fridge is actually a good size and that matters. Now, do I cook a lot? Honestly, no. And that's the other thing about living in Brazil that I think people sleep on. The food here is cheap and it's everywhere. Like I can walk out of this building and within 5 minutes get a really good meal for the equivalent of $4 or $5. fresh juice, grilled fish, rice, beans, the whole thing. But having a proper kitchen means I have the option. I make breakfast here every day, tea, obviously. I'll make stuff on weekends. It doesn't feel like a compromise. It feels like an actual kitchen in an actual home. Oh, and the stovetop is electric, which honestly works fine for day-to-day stuff. Eggs, pasta, reheating things, no complaints. If you're a serious cook who needs high flame, you might miss gas, but the way I actually use a kitchen, it does the job. Bathroom, quick tour. It's clean, it's functional, it has a shower with actual water pressure, which again sounds like the bare minimum, but if you've rented some places in Brazil, you know that water pressure is not always a guarantee. The bathroom is well sized for a studio, you've got your space. Hot water, yes, it has hot water. In Brazil, a lot of showers run on electric shower head, and that heats the water as it comes out. Some people find that weird at first, but you're gonna get used to it fast. And honestly, in this climate, half of the time you just want a cold shower anyway. Okay, so this is the part I think a lot of you are actually here for, and I think if you're a remote worker, a freelancer, a content creator, whatever, can you actually work from a studio like this? Yes. Absolutely yes, and here's why. The space is quiet. This is not a noisy neighborhood. You're not getting street noise all day. You're not hearing clubs or whatever at 3 a.m. That's not this area. It's calm. The building is well insulated. I've had calls in here with no issues, and the building has a 24/7 security. After what I went through in Egypt, and you can click here to watch that video, having security like this wasn't just a luxury for me. It was a requirement. Internet. Obviously, the first thing, I've got a solid fiber connection. Brazil's internet in the major cities and even mid-sized cities like João Pessoa has generally gotten good. I'm talking fast enough to video call, upload, download, run everything I need to run without it being a whole event. My setup is right here. I won't get into every detail of my equipment because that's a whole nother video, but the point is I fit everything I need into the space comfortably. Monitor, laptop, whatever you need, it works. And here's the thing about working from a studio in a place like this that people don't talk about enough: the mental health side of it. I'm 500 meters from the beach. When I feel stuck, when I need a break, when I've been staring at the screen for too long, I go outside. I walk to the beach, I reset, then I come back. That's worth a lot. That's worth more than I can put a number on. Let me just talk about location for a second because I don't think I've been dramatic enough about it. The beach here is Praia de Tambaú and Bassa, this stretch of João Pessoa coastline. It's the Atlantic Ocean. The water temperature here is warm, but I'll be real with you, we're in May now, which means the rainy season is getting started in the Northeast. So it's not that classic sunny beach postcard every single day anymore. You get clouds, you get rain, sometimes it comes and goes fast, sometimes it sticks around. The days are a bit colder than they were a few months ago, which honestly isn't the worst thing. It's still warm by most people's standards, just not that big summer heat. The beach is still right there though. A rainy afternoon here still beats a lot of the other places on a sunny day. That part doesn't change. The beach itself is not crowded the way you would think. João Pessoa doesn't get the insane tourist volumes that Rio or Fortaleza or Florianopolis get, which means on a Tuesday morning or even a Saturday it's chill. There are vendors, there is coconut water, that's the whole thing, but it's not shoulder to shoulder madness, and I'm literally across the avenue from it. I cross it and I'm on the sand. We're talking a 2-minute walk from my door. People pay a lot of money in a lot of places in the world to be this close to the ocean and not have a good studio to come home to. Here you get both for $500. Let me give you a little bit of context on the money side because I think it helps put the $500 in perspective. João Pessoa is not São Paulo, it's not Rio, it's a smaller city, about 800,000 people in the northeast of Brazil, in the state of Paraíba. The cost of living here is lower than the big cities and way lower than anything you would pay in North America or Europe. My rent is $500. My food, if I eat out regularly, which I do, is maybe another $450 a month stop, and that's eating really well. Real meals, good places, not skimping. Utilities here, electricity, water, maybe $40-50 a month. Internet another $25 or $30. So all in, I'm living here, working from a great studio, eating well, walking to the beach for probably $1,000 to $1,200 a month total, all in. Compare that to a 1-bedroom apartment in Miami or London or Toronto, where $1,000 is maybe your transit pass and groceries, and you start to understand why people are making this move. I'm not saying this is for everybody. You have to be okay with building a life in a new place, learning some Portuguese, adapting, but if you're a remote worker with income in dollars or euros, the math is very hard to argue with. Now, let me be honest with you for a second because I don't want this to be a sales pitch. There are things to know. It's warm, even in May, with the rainy season kicking in. It's still warm here. Just humid and unpredictable. You have sunny mornings and sunny afternoon rain. The AC in this studio is essential. It's not optional. Language, Portuguese. Most people here do not speak English, with some younger people, some professional, yes, but day to day you need at least basic Portuguese to function comfortably. I won't sugarcoat that. It's doable, it's learnable, but it's real. And culturally, the pace is different. Things starts later. Run later, move slower. If you're a very punctual, very scheduled type A person like me, you either adapt or it will drive you crazy. I adapt and I actually love it now. So that's the studio. That's what $500 gets you in Brazil, across from the beach. A real space, a smart location, a building with amenities, a natural life. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I read everything.
I stumble from grace, if I give in to hate, show up ragged and gray, $1 short and a day late, if I slip through the cracks, monkey claw in my back, falling off of the map into obscurity, duped and faded to black. Give my things to my brothers, give my praise to my mother, tell my lover I love her. If I stumble from grace, I can't stop the mobs from coldly lynching my thoughts. I've been hunted down and caught for all the havoc they've wrought. And if my shadow gets old, before I do, don't let it be thrown to the wolves, or madly hounded by trolls, whirling out of control. Please remember me warmly, bless my memory and mourn me. Pray my angels adore me if I stumble from grace.
Subscribe if this kind of content is useful to you, and I'll see you in the next one.